What's up, boys? So, Francis and I just off camera now, we're talking about being productive, being efficient. So, Francis was showing me some stuff with the calendar, and yeah, when you plan your time out per hour, you get way more done. So you just live your life purely off the calendar. Do you want to explain to people how you do it? Also, congratulations, you've hit now 50k followers.
Thank you very much.
So we were filming a video yesterday actually, and Francis on 49.9.
Yeah. So,
super good.
Thank you, appreciate it. But yeah, with the calendar stuff, by all means, not an expert. So, just take this however you want. But having your days planned out is so much better than not, in my opinion, just because you know exactly where all your hours go. Because I think you've experienced this before. Like, you think you're being productive, or maybe before ages ago, but you probably didn't get much done in that time. Obviously now it's a lot different, but
it's because you're doing things that aren't needle movers.
Yeah, like
you're just busy but not really moving.
Yeah, if you're at your desk and you're switching tabs all day, then but you're spending time on that. I guess it's because you feel like you're being productive, but you haven't created anything. So I think having everything on the calendar just laid out perfectly for you is a super good idea. Then it just creates more hours in the day. Like, you know where everything goes. So, what are your thoughts on that? 'Cause I know you're new to this as well.
Yeah, 100%. So Francis was just showing me Google Calendar before we started. I'm not really too good with technology like Google Calendar, Google Drives, all these kind of different things. I'm old school. Like, I'll write down on my piece of paper, like, these are my tasks for the day. I'll write it on my whiteboard, or I'll write it on my Apple Notes. Like, all right, these 10 things I want to get done today, and I'll just do them in any order. I feel like almost, these people, they worry too much about like they're making it look pretty on the computer and like, oh, this color for this thing, and you're just showing me it for yourself and it works. But some people are like, I feel they spend too much time on that instead of just working. They spend too much time planning each minute of their day, and then they end up going half an hour over that one task, and then the rest of their calendar's messed up and it's all a mess. But the way you did it, you left some time in between tasks, just so that if you overrun, you're still fine. I like that. So
yeah, I think everyone should set up a Google Calendar, at least try it, for a couple of days, even a week, to see how it goes. I mean, there's nothing to lose really, but yeah, it's like, make it however you want. You can have it on your phone as well. Just super productive. It's funny to say that word, but it is true. Like, you get more hours out of the day, more work done.
So, yeah, because the thing is when you plan all your daily tasks on the calendar, you put down go to the gym, or you put down spend some time with one friend, or whatever you want to do. You realize how many hours you still have left. Yeah. And this is the point that I'm always making to you guys, which is when you actually plan your time, you're like, oh shit, I have so much time left in a day. Like, you can literally work for 5 hours in a row, focused work, deep work, like a couple breaks in between, let's say. And then you have 11 hours left in the day, spend 3 hours eating in gym and toilet and bathroom and getting ready in the morning. That's 8 hours. You have 8 hours left. You can spend 3 hours with your girlfriend or your friends. Then you still have 5 hours left on top of that. You can still 2 hours more for work, 2 hours more for friends, 1 hour more for journaling if you really want to do that, or the sauna, or the watching some TV show. There's so much time in a day if you plan your day. I personally don't like the sauna and journaling and things like that, but if that's what you want to do in life, go do it. More power to you. Just as long as you're efficient with your day and you're efficient with your time, that's all that matters, bro. Don't be one of those guys who are like looking online and seeing another guy who's more successful than you saying wake up at 4 a.m. and then you instantly think you have to be awake at 4 a.m. You don't. You actually don't. You can do whatever you want as long as you stick to it and you're consistent. That's your most important thing.
And it goes back to the point of there's 1,000 waking hours in the day, like roughly 1,000 hours, 1,000 minutes in the day. My bad. And yeah, it's like if you do want to do journaling, you do want to do this, and you do want to do those things, if you add them up, it's probably going to be like around an hour, right? Like the sauna and your journaling and that other stuff. So that's 6% of your day. And if you stick to that, you don't let it go over to like 12, like 18% of your day, then honestly, it's not a deal breaker. That's, I
always tell this to people. I'm like, even if you waste 3 hours of your day, it's actually fine. It's 18% of your day. It's nothing, right? So those of you who don't know, you have 1,000 waking minutes, right? You have so that's 100 blocks of 10 minutes. So each block of 10 minutes is 1% of your day. So you sleep around 7.5 hours. That leaves you 990 minutes left in the day, waking minutes. Round that up to 1,000 minutes. Boom, 1,000. If you look at your day as 10-minute blocks, is 1%. If you spend 20 minutes in the sauna, you could be in the sauna enjoying that whilst thinking, meditating at the same time. You can meditate and be in the sauna literally at the same time. Journal for 20 minutes if that's what you want to do. Smoke 10 cigarettes if you really want. Like, you can do anything as long as you're just efficient with the rest of your hours. The 80-20 rule is the most important thing in business.
Definitely, yeah, 100%.
Do you think people are sometimes too hard on themselves? Like they either say, you know what, I'm a loser, I'm not doing anything, or they try to go too much to the other side of like, they want to use every minute of the day and they end up doing nothing that's actually productive, moving them forward.
I think a lot of people get stuck in the middle, like in no man's land. Obviously, I don't know exactly. I haven't thought about that too much. But I think they get stuck somewhere in the middle. What do you think about that?
I think so, man. I think so. Because even if you're working, I think 4 hours a day, if you're actually doing the right things, you do start to progress. Oftentimes. Maybe it takes 6 hours, 7 hours. But like if you're working a lot of hours in the day, you should be progressing. You don't need to work 16 hours a day to progress, right? You don't need to. So if you're spending hours and hours at your desk and you're not making any money, it's clearly that you're just not doing any of the right things. Or maybe you're only doing some of the right things. You're clearly not doing the fundamental things. For example, if you're spending 10 hours a day, doing research on your competitors instead of actually building your own business, that's not real work, That's like a cop-out, that's mental masturbation, you're pretending to work when in reality you're not working. What you should be doing is do some work. All right, sure, spend some time keeping an eye on the competitors, seeing what they're doing, maybe take some ideas from them, implement the changes to your own business. But don't be sat there thinking to yourself, yeah, I'm working, just because you have 20 tabs open and a big monitor on your desk and you feel powerful, you have a nice lights in your room, the LED lights, and you have some nice candle going on and you have some, you know what I mean? Nice pillows on your bed. Like, that's not being productive. That's just mental masturbation most of the time.
I feel like a lot of time people think that being at the desk is being productive.
It's not, yeah.
But there's so much useless stuff you could do at the desk, like switching between tabs, watching a video, random stuff.
Literally, they could be watching a random YouTube video that doesn't even teach them anything. An iShow Speed video, a Kai Cenat video. Yeah. Watching, like, that's never going to help you. Unless you want to be a streamer exactly like them and you're understanding how the streaming game works, how they engage with their fans in the comments, then sure, maybe you can learn something. But for the most part, people learn nothing. It's just a pure cop-out.
Okay, if someone's starting out in business and like they're trying to get better, do you think they should spend 50% learning and like researching and stuff and 50% working, or less time researching? Like, what do you think is like a good percentage split?
20% research, 80% action.
Nice.
I think 90% action. 90% action, 10% research. Research, then get back to action, then do a lot of action, then see, okay, what am I missing again?
Yeah.
Then go back to action.
Yeah.
Because action will teach you everything.
True. And you say like, you take action, then you analyze after what you did right, what you did wrong, and then that's where you like properly learn. But if you don't do anything, there's nothing to learn from. Just kind of thinking of ideas.
And for me, I feel like I'm always happy when I'm doing something, even if it's the wrong thing. After, when I look back at my week, look back at my month, I'm like, that was a good month because I did a lot. I learned a lot. But when I'm just thinking so much, you almost don't remember where your day went. I was actually on the phone with someone earlier today, and they were telling me how they don't know what they do all day. Because basically at the moment they're not working a job. It was someone from my Telegram channel. And I was saying to them, bro, what are you doing? Like, do you have a job and all this stuff? Because I don't work a job at the moment. I lost my job. Or, I can't remember what he said. I lost my job, or he doesn't work a job, or it was too tiring. It was like a long day job kind of thing. And he said at the moment he's just reading books on like sales funnels from like, what's his name? Russell Brunson and all these people. And books on like influence and psychology. And I was like, yeah, nice, but that's not 16 hours a day. You're just purely making excuses. It's pure excuses. You could be doing that for 1 hour a day, max. What else do you need to read? So all the information you're reading in that 1 hour, why not apply it for the other 15 hours? Yeah. And he said, I haven't outreached to any clients yet. I'm kind of it's just all cope. It's all cope. And we both started laughing on the phone because I knew he was just chatting shit in the sense that he wasn't serious. He knew the same thing. But he was a nice guy. He was likable. At least he was honest about the fact that he wasn't doing shit.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a good story, you know?
It makes you more likable, man. If you're just going to sit there and say, yeah, man, it's like, because everyone knows they're not actually doing anything if they're broke.
That's a good point. I think Alex Hormozy said this. He said, you're either busy, or he said you can't be broke and busy at the same time. Something like that. For exactly what it was. But yeah, you can't be super busy all day.
Well, you can't be broke and have lots of time. If you have lots of time, you can't be broke then, because use the time to make money, work a job. I think that's the quote.
Something like that, yeah, but I get the point.
Yeah, I get the point. It's just a lot, it's just, if you have all day, use those hours by working a normal job. Then you'll have money coming in. Then you can join an online community like You Money. Then you can invest money in yourself. Then you can actually start moving the ball forward.
Yeah,
but if you're going to sit there and just cry,
can't get anywhere like that. But the point is, like, you don't even have to fill up your calendar 100% with work. You can block out certain days and go have fun with your friends. But
yeah.
If you're working like 5-6 days a week and one day is completely open, you just do whatever you want, like, that's cool as well. I think it's the moderation and the balance is key.
Yeah, like and the thing is, you can literally schedule the last 4 hours in the evening before you sleep for going out and fun. But then the first 12 hours of your day, you're just efficient and productive. You still get so much done.
Yeah.
That's the thing, people are too harsh on themselves. They try and go so much into the work side of things instead of having enough fun. It's like, I believe just do everything fully. And I'm not perfect at this myself, I try to be, but I believe in just working really hard or playing really hard. Not being in the middle, not really doing anything, right? Be focused completely on one task. When that one task is done, then you can move on to the other task. So for example, say the first 12 hours of the day, you're super focused, you're getting things done. But the last 4 hours, you're going to have fun with your friends, you go cinema, maybe you go bowling. The next day you go play FIFA at someone's house. Even though it's bullshit, at least you're doing things with your friends. At least it's memorable to some degree. And over just like sitting at home watching TV by yourself. It's better to watch a movie with your friends than watch a movie by yourself. It's better to watch a movie with your girlfriend than watch a movie by yourself. It's better to go to a nice restaurant in your city with your friends, with a girl, on a double date, than sit in your room typing online, why am I such a loser? Just overthinking your existence. So I believe in just doing something, man. What about you? What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like sometimes you're just in the middle where you're not fully working, not fully playing? Because I feel like I've done that a lot growing up. Especially at your age, I used to be in no man's land a lot.
I feel like a year ago when I was still doing like some like small side hustle things like teaching skateboard lessons, reselling shoes, I would still have a lot of fun, but like I don't think that was a problem because I was enjoying myself and money was just like a side thing just so I can buy cool stuff for myself.
Yeah.
But then I'd say more so now, like my main focus is growing my social media and growing my personal brand and making more money. So that is fun for me. I don't feel the need to like, go have fun afterwards, for example. But if there are days where I want to go out, like for example, the New Money events, I got blocked up 2 days on the calendar. It's just go enjoy that, go learn some stuff, meet some people. So yeah, I feel like I'm all the way on one side, which is just work all the time, which is what I want to do. And if I want to have fun, I can block off the calendar and do that. What percentage of people do you feel like they fully just focus on work? Like their whole calendar is just full of work. Like what percentage of people do you feel are like that?
Very few. Most people, they love having fun.
So like, if you were to just fill up your whole week with just work, like you feel like you'd be in the top couple percentage people in terms of like working.
100%.
So like, yeah,
100%.
That's literally the easiest thing you can do. Just like fill up all your time with work, and then you're guaranteed to eventually get there.
I say that to people. I ask them, how hard do you think you're trying right now? And they'll say to me, 50%, 45%. So 100% is your mom's gonna die, you have to save her life, make X amount of money. 0 is not trying at all. They say, oh, I'm trying 40%, 45%. And I say to them, well, why don't you just up your percentage from 45% to 60%, 45 to 80, 45 to 100? Then you're gonna start making more money. The easiest way to make more money is just increasing the amount you try from this to over here. Here to over here. Why are you overcomplicating by asking about funnels and about sales techniques and about marketing tricks and about how do you pay your staff, Hassan? How do you pay your employees? How do you manage this? How many bank accounts do you have? What do you believe in crypto? Like, just the best thing you can do from the beginning, the first and best step, is just increase your work ethic from 45% to 85, 45 to 100. And if you do that, then naturally everything else will follow. This sounds so simple, but it is super important and relevant information. Start with that, and then the rest of it, guys, will be super easy. Because I'm telling you, when you start working harder and you start operating with that intensity of like, my family's gonna die, I need to make money, obviously you're not gonna think that all the time and operate with that pure level of intensity. But if you try like 90% instead of 45, the answers are gonna start coming to you like this. Everything will start making sense. Because you'll be hopping on more sales calls, you'll be hopping on more calls with business partners and friends, you'll be listening to more podcasts, getting nuggets of information, applying them to your life. Your whole life will change so quickly. It's crazy.
And it also comes down to just working more hours, focusing more, doing one task at a time, just getting more stuff done day by day.
100%. Everything just comes down from just accomplishing one thing, moving on to the other, then the other, then the other, then the other. That's why now I'm actually sold on that calendar idea. Because I've had something similar in the sense that I just write down things on my list of, it's not a calendar, but I write down my to-do list on my phone or my whiteboard or whatever on my laptop, but it's not like this time do this time do this. It's always been kind of spontaneous. So I'm interested to see how this affects my productivity.
Why not? Try it out.
I'll try it out.
And always make it in a way which works best for you. But in terms of working hard and, upping it from like 40% to like 90%, if it's so simple, why do people still feel stuck and they still are kind of stuck in the middle? You're not working very hard.
Yeah, because people don't actually want it that bad. It's like if I told you right now, so let's say right now you're hungry, you haven't eaten for 5 days, and I have a pizza and I have a burger in front of you. Let's say, and you hate, I don't know, maybe that's a bad example because probably most people like both. But let's say I give you, 2 dishes. One of them you kind of like, one of them you hate, right?
Yeah.
No, let's just change it even again. You hate both dishes.
Okay.
But you're starving, you're hungry as fuck, you're just gonna eat it anyway. The point I'm making is you're just gonna get on with it. If you really want something, you're just gonna get on with it. If you're really hungry, you're just gonna eat the food. You're not gonna think, oh, is this the best food for me? Do I like this food? Do I not? Like most people don't try harder because they're always trying to, because A, they don't want money that bad. And then 2, they start thinking to themselves, well, you know what? I don't know if this business model is the right one for me. I don't know if I want to do this business model forever. And they just don't want it that bad. If you really wanted money, you'd start working much, much harder and you just start taking decisive action. You start putting things into place. Which leads on to another question, which is, why do you think a lot of people think that they have to do one business forever?
I don't know, maybe it comes from school, like the education system where you kind of pick one career path and then you go to do it for university, you get a degree for it, and then you just work that same job. That's a huge commitment. Like you're investing a lot of time and energy and money into that one thing that you do for many, many years. But business is not like that. You could go with something for a few months, and if you really, really hate it and you really don't like it, I guess you don't have to do it. There's no connection to it. Like you don't have to continue with it,
That's what I'm always telling people, like, get good at sales, get good at marketing, get good at speaking, get good at negotiating, get good at managing your time, get good at being disciplined, get good at these things, get good at being mentally resilient, because you can take all those skills and apply them to any business model. If you only become good at one type of industry, one type of skill set, it limits you and puts you in a box. You always want to stack skills on top of another, right? The more skills you have and you stack them higher and higher, the better you're going to be. It's kind of like, imagine you just good at sales. This is like how high your block goes, your tower. But then imagine you stack another tower, another skill on top of another skill. Now you're this tall, you're this high, then this high, then this high, then, So the higher the more you have, the higher you go.
Yeah.
That's exactly how life works. The more skills you have, the higher you're going to go. So if I learn how to, for example, use cameras a bit better, maybe I understand like using certain softwares online or just basic stuff, even like Google Calendars, that could propel me to a higher level. Just because it changes the way you view things. It changes your perception on things. You have more tools available to you. It's kind of like, imagine someone a carpenter comes around to your house and he's trying to build something or whatever. If he only has one tool, a hammer, his options are limited versus he has every tool. A chainsaw, a hammer, screwdriver, so on and so forth. The list goes on, knives, whatever.
But he wouldn't have realized he needed all those tools if he hadn't put the action in and be like, oh, I need a hammer. So it's like when you start a business and maybe you don't like it the most, like you don't have to continue with it, but you still get the lessons, you still learn how to sell with that, you still learn marketing, you still learn how to, deliver on the services you say. So you do get some pretty good skills from it and they just cross over to whatever you're going to do next. So
100%.
That's why
it's just the best thing you can do is just begin and then everything else will reveal itself. And I said this actually today on a live call. I said, the analogy, did you hear about this, the chess analogy? Were you on the call earlier?
I don't think so. I wasn't.
So I was talking about how most people overcomplicate their first move. They're like, oh, I'm not sure what move I should make. And I say, in a chess game, no matter how good of a chess player you are, let's say you're Magnus Carlsen, the best chess player in the world. Well, he used to be, I'm not sure if he still is. And I'm just a normal chess player. The best move I can make is going to be roughly the best move Magnus can make. It's going to be the same. Because at the opening of the game, there's only a few moves people make. They either move the pawn forward in front of the king, or the pawn forward in front of the queen, or one of the knights, or one of the pawns in front of the bishop. It's like, you're limited to like maybe 6 or 8 moves.
Yeah.
Then in the middle of the game, all of the pieces are developed. You can move in all these different directions. The moves you're going to make if you're the best chess player in the world are going to be so different than what I can make.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is the first move in business is always basic. No matter if you're Elon Musk or if you're, a normal guy, Harry from England, right? The moves available to you at the beginning are roughly the same. You've got no money, you live with your parents, what can you do? All right, whether it's sales, whether it's drop shipping, whether it's whatever. Choose something, begin with the basics, and then later on, that's when the skill levels really start appearing, and that's when you can start stacking more skills on top of another. But at the beginning, you're a beginner, you have no skills, no money, no leverage, no employees, no information, no nothing. So just begin with what you have. So always just begin with what you have, and it makes life so much easier.
So do you feel like people worry too much about what they should be doing in like a couple months from now?
They try and make the perfect move before they've made a good move. And it's kind of like in a boxing fight as well. You just throw jab, jab, jab at the beginning. You're not just going to start throwing Hail Marys, just like swinging like this, Yeah. It's like, and there's no, you're going to just keep everything nice and tight and just build up your position, right? Get the opponent tired. Just the same way in chess almost. You build up your position, then you go for the devastating attack. It's just all about building, building, building. Same thing with life. You've got to keep making good move after good move after good move, right? So everyone's trying to make the perfect move. But it doesn't make sense because in chess, no matter how bad you want to, you can't move the queen as your first move. The queen is trapped by the pawns in front of it. You have to move the pawns forward first, or you move the knights forward. So no matter how big your ambitions and dreams and goals are, you have to start with the basic move. You have to.
Yeah, you can't start with the level 100 move if you're just starting out. So you might as well just look one step at a time.
And that's the problem with a lot of people trying to make money, and maybe some of you guys watching this now, is you look at someone maybe in a higher position to you at the moment, and then they'll think, oh, I want to do what this person does now. So like, for example, this t-shirt, Philip Plain t-shirt, I think this t-shirt was like $1,000 or maybe $800, I don't know, something along those lines. Someone at home watches this, I might think, okay, I can copy Hassan, I can't afford the RM, but I can buy a Philip Plain t-shirt for $1,000. I spend all their money on that t-shirt. That's so stupid. Because I didn't do that when I only had $1,000. I did that later on in the game, when the money didn't mean anything. But if you do that at the beginning,
so
you're fucked.
You're
using all your resources.
Yeah, you're making the high level move when you're at the low level.
Yeah.
So you might as well, like, what would you spend $1,000 on? Like, can you even share like what you spend that $1,000 on?
What do you mean now or before?
Before, like when you were at lower level.
I was buying a lot of courses. I was traveling a lot. I went to Romania quite a lot, Bulgaria a lot. I was traveling in between England a lot, just driving my car, meeting people from online. I was, that stuff. Gym memberships are good. Spending on more food so you feel more energetic. Like, if you think, blueberries are expensive, but they make you feel good, buy the blueberries because it's only an extra couple pounds, couple dollars, and it'll make you feel good about yourself. You have more energy. That's a good investment. You can buy blueberries for 500 days in a row, a year and a half, with the extra $1,000, $2,000,
Nice.
And that might give you a big push that might make you $2 million in that same time frame.
Yeah.
There's no better investment than yourself, and food is an investment in yourself.
Yeah, so like at the time that $1,000 was best spent on those things. Like now you still might spend on those things, but you're spending on different things once you. But
now I can also buy the blueberries, buy the bananas.
Yeah.
I mean, I could always buy bananas; they were cheap, but blueberries, and the Philip Plain t-shirt and the RM. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can buy everything.
Exactly. And also I think a big one is like justifying like how you spend your money depending on the level that you're at. So I was asking you the other day, like, how can you justify spending $250,000 on a watch? And then you gave me a pretty good answer. You said that it was like,
I can't even remember what I said.
Okay, so you said it was like,
I guess I would have said it's nothing. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said something funny, and then you said that in 2 years it might depreciate $20,000. Would you pay $10K a year to wear an RM? Yeah, you would.
Yeah, boys, I just said to Francis, like he was saying it's $250K, but it's not really $250K because I didn't spend $250K on bottles in the club. I spent $250K on the watch. In 2 years, I'll sell it for maybe $20K less. So that works out to be renting the RM effectively for $10K a year.
And you get all the benefits of marketing and all that would.
Yeah, and it's fun to wear. And at the same time, like people just throw around these numbers because some people in the comments they'll be like, "Oh, $20K though." Even still, they'll be like, "That's the point, dummy. It costs $20K for the 2 years. That's why we say it's a waste of money." But you have to understand that $20K is subjective in terms of is it a lot of money or not a lot of money. For you, maybe it's a lot of money, but for me, it's not a lot of money. It's still obviously a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. Obviously, I respect $20K, but for 2 years of my life, having a nice watch that I like, that is worth $20K to me.
Yeah.
Because people just disrespect their time, man. They're like, oh, it's only 2 years and this much money. 2 years? You might only live 60 years, 50 years. That's like 4% of your life if you live 50 years. Right? And people are just, and 4% of the best years. Because the first 18 years, 17 years, you don't really have much control over your life. And your last few years, if you're, in bed, you're ill, you have problems, health issues, those years aren't very good. And your energy slows down past 45 massively.
Yeah.
So these are the best years. You're telling me 2 years, the only 2 years I'm ever going to be this young and strong and powerful, and you're telling me it's a waste of money? You got to reevaluate the way you think about life, bro. And I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way. I'm saying this in a, bro, just think bigger, man, because there's numbers out there.
Yeah, that's a super good point. And then, but it's like when you are at the lower levels, you shouldn't be thinking of that higher move.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't be trying to do that if you can't afford an RM and if you only have 250K.
Yeah.
Play your position. That's the most important thing in life. So many people don't play their position. And that leads on to networking. So many guys are unlikable and bad at networking because they're just too arrogant. So when I first met Francis, were you 18 or 19 when I first met you?
18.
When's your birthday?
November 11.
Okay, so he might have just turned 19. I think when I properly started hanging out with you was November. When you do the filming stuff.
I turned 19 at the Amsterdam event.
Okay, so just before then. Yeah, because... Yeah, so anyway, basically 19 was when I first met Francis, about a year ago now. And yeah, you weren't like you weren't annoying, you weren't super unlikable, you didn't talk too much. And it's like just playing your position. It's not being in, a lot of people are just too intrusive, they're too demanding, they ask for too many things, they say their opinion too often. It's just knowing when to speak, knowing when not to speak. If I was around Elon Musk, I wouldn't talk at all. And I'm not saying I'm Elon Musk, obviously. I'm just making the point of, it's just someone who came to my mind who's obviously high level. The point I'm trying to make is that if someone's doing better than you,
it's okay to be quiet and learn.
It's okay, yeah. It doesn't make you beta. Beta, whatever people say. It doesn't make you inferior. It just means you're smart. Like, I love being around people better than me because it means I can learn things. And it doesn't even have to be better overall. Let's say at the moment I'm making more. But I completely don't look at it like, oh, I make more than Francis. I look at it as, you're 19, but you have loads of fucking things to teach me. The Google Calendar just now, the filming, loads of things. 20 million different things. The point I'm making is, I think he's better than me in this area. So it's not even about who's like overall richer. It's about who's better in that area. You're good at skateboarding. So if you tell me something about skateboarding, oh, listen, doesn't matter if I was a trillionaire, obviously. So that's super important to explain. Because a lot of people are like, oh, Hassan, how do you, like, if you have a friend who's not as good as you at skateboarding, for example, but you're better than them at arm wrestling, like you can show them something about arm wrestling, they can show you something about skateboarding. All right, boys, the camera wasn't recording for the past 15 or 16 minutes. So we're just gonna talk back about what we were saying, which is a continuation of where you guys are probably watching. So we were talking about how,
if you were a trillionaire, you'd still listen to someone who wasn't if they had a different skill set.
Yeah, so it's just about finding people or recognizing which people are better at which things than you. And everyone is better than you at something, so just recognize which people are better than you at that thing that you're trying to most improve at, and then spend more time with those people. If you're trying to get better in money, find people who are better at business than you, talk to them. If you're trying to find people who are in better shape than you, if you want to be in better shape, spend time with people who are in better shape than you, and you'll learn from them. If you want to learn how to get good at tennis, you get the idea.
Yeah, and like, it's the point of like not being too arrogant. Like, if someone is richer than you, there's still different ways you can provide value to them. Maybe they're super busy. Maybe you can do something for them. There's always some way you can provide value to someone. So there's like always ways to like, become friends with a certain person if it's value based.
Yeah, friendship's just about value exchange. Really. If you're helping someone, they're helping you. You're helping them make their life better. They're helping you make your life better. Then you're going to be friends. You're going to like each other. It's not like a man and a woman. They like each other for different reasons, and then they fall in love. They have a family. As a guy, you're not really going to care about another random dude. Think about it.
That's a good point.
Like, when you actually break it down in the most basic explanation, unless you're just into men and then that's just what you like. But it's like, if you're just a normal straight dude, you're not going to like other dudes just for the sake of it unless they're actually useful for you. Now, sure, you can respect someone if you see someone in good shape, you see someone pull up in a Lambo. You're not going to like them, let's just say, initially, but you can definitely respect them and then get to like them quite quickly because at least you respect what they built for themselves. But you're not going to like them and be friends with them unless you actually know them and they're providing value to you and you can learn something. And
yeah, definitely. I think a friendship which is value based is a lot more valuable, but it's gonna hold a lot more weight in the long term compared to a friendship which is just there for fun.
It's more stable.
Yeah, exactly. Because then there's something to the friendship. It's just like, oh, you hang out with each other and you drink together sometimes. I guess that is the value exchange, that you have fun together, but it's not as sustainable as if you're, constantly improving each other's lives with something.
Because if you're not making each other better, at some point you're going to be like, all right, I'm wasting a lot of my time. I shouldn't go to the club so much. And then when you start going to the club 5 times a week, then you won't hang out with the person you go club with. It's also important that you don't just try and provide value to your friends, but you also make sure you don't do anything that can ruin the friendship, right? It's very, very important in life that you're an honorable man, you're an honest man, because, I mean, the reason why I just started smiling is for a second is because Francis and I, we talked about this story that I'm about to share with you like 15 minutes ago, but the footage got lost. We weren't recording, the camera wasn't filming. So anyway, I'll repeat the story. So I know of a couple guys, I'm going to change the story. Let's just say, just so I don't kind of snitch on who they are. Let's just say it was in Argentina. I was in a party. There was one guy and another guy. Let's say they've known each other for 4 years. Long story short, we're at a party. One of the guys fucks the other guy's sister. Right? I'm changing a bit of the story, right? But long story short, they fell apart. They stopped being friends and they've known each other for many, many years, 4 years, just because this guy fucked this guy's sister. Like, this guy should have controlled his urges, and not even controlled his urges, but he should get himself checked, because if I have a friend and they have a sister, I wouldn't even look at that sister. I wouldn't even look at that girl in any... I wouldn't even register as I wouldn't register as a normal person. I find it weird how people can look at someone's mom, girlfriend. Like, even in school, we had friends. I had friends and just people in my class who would just be like talking about another guy's in that class mum, and be like, oh, your mum's so fit. Obviously, it's like a bit of lad banter as when you're young. But like, what the fuck? I never used to make those jokes because it was just so stupid. And it's like, if someone says that about your mum, it's just fucked up. But yeah, fucking your friend's sister is just so stupid for many reasons. But also, if you're gonna look at it mathematically, you're gonna ruin a one-of-one friendship for a girl who's just like one of 200 million attractive girls like that girl. 4 billion women in the world, but how many are gonna be attractive like her? 200 million?
Yeah.
So you're ruining... Boys, we thought something was gonna fall on our heads. You're ruining a one-of-one friendship for something that's just so
temporary.
Common.
Yeah.
And temporary. It just makes no sense. And a lot of guys do that. They sacrifice things that they can only do now for doing something else they can do forever. They stop chasing their dreams and using all their energy when they're young, at 25, but then they'll watch TV, which they could do at 65. So people just don't know how to like prioritize certain things based on how rare it is or how important it is or how you can only do it in the moment. So that's how I prioritize things. I prioritize things by looking at that thing and thinking, can I do this now or can I do this forever? If it's watching TV, I can do it any day I'm alive. So that's not special. Also, how memorable is it? TV is not memorable. Okay. Is it going to teach me anything? No. You know what I mean? How much does it impact my life? What's the ROI? Again, very small. Which is why TV is such a low ROI and low task for me, low-level task, because it's not memorable, there's no ROI, I can do it forever, it's not rare, it's not special, there's no achievement, everybody else can do it, I don't feel like a winner by doing it, right? But driving a Lambo at a young age and having 6 supercars at the age of 23, that was an impressive achievement. Very few people will ever have experienced that life. It is a bit of a special thing, it is fun, and I can't be 63 and drive 6 supercars the same way I can be 23 and drive 6 supercars.
Yeah, it's all like seasons. Like, being on a jet ski when you're 63 is not the same as when you're 21.
100%.
So it's like living those seasons, right? And yeah, there's times for everything in your life. You can watch TV when you're 75 years old, and then you can't really go out and do much. You can watch TV then. And you shouldn't be 21 and watching TV. it's almost
It's disrespectful to your family.
Yeah, and like shows like how little you value your time and your youth.
I feel like because my parents are Lebanese, I mean, my mum was born in England, but because my parents are Lebanese, and obviously that's not as rich of a country as England or America or Canada or the Western world, I feel like my mindset was more, I feel like your mindset is more, disciplined and hardworking and more like, I got to make the most of my time. Whereas if you're born in the Western world, obviously there's some really ambitious people, but a lot of people just get lazy. If you're born in England or born in America, because your life is so comfortable, your whole family's there, you have 20 people there, it's very easy to just get comfortable and be like, oh, we're already rich now. We don't need to work. Yeah,
you think that's like a big reason why a lot of people fall off when they do start making money and they do start, getting 100%. Where they want to be. They just kind of fall off.
Bro, I said it. If I still had my dad alive, if my mum, dad, and all my grandparents and all my cousins and everyone was in the same city or country as me, I would probably be less ambitious. Because you're spending more time with your family, and also like what's almost the reason to hustle? Because you're just naturally going to become more of a family person.
Right, where does ambition even come from? Like, what makes someone ambitious? What made you ambitious compared to if you had like all your family around you? Like,
I think a lot of it just comes down to your genetics and who you are naturally as a person, your characteristics. But I think a lot of it is your environment as well. So because my dad died when I was 17, I saw how upset my mom was. Obviously, I was devastated as well. My younger brother, was 15 at the time. You kind of become like the man of the house at a young age, so it matures you quicker than maybe the average person who doesn't have to deal with something so bad. So that obviously made me more ambitious, and a few other situations in life that have been very, very bad, have given me that push, have given me that ambition. Just to really go harder. I was always ambitious, but it's just like the age at which I had to start working harder came younger because of certain situations and events. Like I got kicked out of university for getting into a fight in university. And then I was like, oh wow, I've just been kicked out of uni. Everything I've been working for, going to a good school, working hard, getting good grades, that's all just been taken away from me. So my identity of like a smart kid who got good grades, who went to a good uni, studying a good course, just got taken away. Not my identity, I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it's almost just like, okay, well, I spent 2 years doing my A-levels, 1 year having a gap year, 1 year working my first year in uni. Not really working, I was missing every lecture. But 4 years just down the drain effectively, because after that final year in school, you can just go do your own thing, go get a job. It's like 4 years of not working a job to be in the same position as I am now, needing a job, because I'm not going to go back to uni after I got kicked out. But also it shows a lot about my character, because in that moment I could have easily just said, you know what, I'm going to go back to uni, it's only 1 year. I can just catch up that year again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But something just told me, nah, like I know I can do more. So, yeah, man.
So it's like a combination of like a few bad things happening. Well, obviously, I guess you like don't regret those things because it made you who you are today. But
well, yeah, I mean, I can't control my dad, the dad situation. My dad obviously died due to cancer, and then me being kicked out of uni. It happened now. I can't cry over spilt milk, but yeah, it is what it is. So, those things obviously made me go harder, but at the time they were both extremely bad things.
Absolutely, yeah.
And obviously my dad dying is still very bad, but for every bad thing in life, there's a lesson there and there's some lesson there that can be very powerful. Like if something very negative happens, then you can take almost an equally as positive lesson from that situation.
Yeah.
So my dad dying is super bad, but then the lesson is, okay, I got to mature super quickly and I got to be man of the house super quickly to look after my mom and brother. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So I remember at the time just thinking, all right, like it made me go harder in the gym at the time and just, you know what I mean? It's like, life just moves on. And also because I believe in God and my dad was religious as well, he believes in God. If you understand this world is temporary, you know what I mean? It's kind of like your approach to death and mindset to death isn't the same as maybe atheists. Right. If you're an atheist, it's a lot scarier to die. I can't lie, I'm scared to die at 25, but I don't think I'm going to be scared to die at 60 or 65 or onwards.
So you would have lived so much, you've done so much stuff already.
I just don't want to die now. I'm enjoying myself, I'm having a good time, but Maybe by 60, I would have experienced so much. And yeah, sure, there's always new things to do. And that's my mindset. I always want to conquer new shit. But maybe by 50, 55, 60, I would have done most of the things I want. Or maybe 70 or 80, whatever. The point I'm making is I don't feel like I'm very scared to die later on. But most people are just perpetually scared of dying. I really have a fearless attitude towards dying. It's just I am scared of dying young just because there's so much I want to do. But also, if I was to die right now, I could honestly, hand on heart, say, like, I've done so well, and I'm very happy with what I've done with my 25 years. There's no real regrets. Honestly, there's no real regrets. I can't even say I wish I went out more. Like, I went out quite a lot and worked hard and had good friends and was honest to people, treated people good, inspired loads of people, helped so many people make money, you know, and then that's not just like them making more money. That's their future wife having a better life. That's their future children having a better life. Maybe their grandchildren having a better life because then their children, like generational, you know, it's so much.
That's super powerful. I haven't thought of it like that, but literally, like, new money is like you've impacted all those different people, and they definitely will be more successful with that networking, with the knowledge and all this stuff. So it does, you know, have such a
like you join new money. Obviously, your hard work is the main component, but you joining new money's helped you now in the position you're in. It's helped you make more money.
Absolutely.
And your future family, like, are going to be better for that. And obviously, you provide a value for me. It's the same thing, obviously. But I'm just trying to make the point of, like, when you work hard in life, it's not just that your life gets better. It's just that everybody that you ever interact with get that better life as well. So, like, my work has made your life better. Obviously, your work has made my life better. But my work has made my mom's life better, my brother's life better. I took him out of university. Thousands of people's lives and new money better. Their future children, their future wife. One guy came up to me in the Amsterdam event and just told me that he got married recently and he's got... Well, there's two people who got married, but so he got married in Pakistan and his life's got better since joining the group. This other guy's got 3 children. He got married. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so many people actually have families even at the moment. There's people in third world countries that are being inspired, that maybe they'll make the move to go from a third world country. So maybe right now someone's watching this from Nigeria. They watch all my content. They listen to my voice notes, link in the description, right? They make their travels from Nigeria to Dubai. Then, because they went from Nigeria to Dubai, so many people in Nigeria got inspired from that move. So even though there's 8 million people, you can't individually help every single person. By being the best version of yourself, you can impact a lot. You can impact literally millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people. The chain effect. Say you have 1 million followers on social media, and out of those people, a lot of them are really impacted by your message. The chain effect of that on society is actually massive. So influencers are actually very, very good, if they're good influencers. But some influencers are just stupid and they waste time and they lead people down on the wrong path. I see some influencers, they just encourage steroids and encourage gambling and encourage OnlyFans girls and they encourage... It's just like they are actually a negative for society. Because the more of these fitness, like you're a fitness influencer, but obviously you're natural, the more of these fitness influencers who say, oh yeah, I'm taking steroids and I'm doing this, and it does just push the idea into kids' mind.
Yeah, and they definitely want to be like that. That's why it's called an influencer. They're influenced by that person. So they just want to be the same, and therefore they do the same things. But obviously, it's like not the same level. It just goes downhill from there. So yeah, like you can have a super good effect, like you've had on like New Money guys and a lot of other people. But it can also be the complete opposite if you just do the wrong things. So be a little bit careful with that.
But that's why each person's actions have so much responsibility, because based on your actions, you can impact so many people positively or negatively. You know what I mean? So it's just all about the way you look at things. And then if I told you, like, you waking up on time, you working hard every day, each day that you successfully complete and you do all the tasks you're supposed to do, imagine I told you that was going to impact 10,000 people just for that one day's work. You'd have way more energy throughout the day.
True.
Because the truth is, if you constantly are working hard, you are going to impact thousands and thousands of people a day anyway.
Yeah.
Like, your actions are literally impacting so many people.
So yeah, like if you post a couple good videos and they go viral, for example, and they're value-based and you're teaching something useful, you've probably impacted a few people because you taught them something new. Maybe, for example, I can speak about fitness, and maybe they avoided a shoulder injury, which would have done something, you know? So there's so many different things that you can.
Or maybe some man who's married to his wife, but he's not in the best shape, sees your video and he doesn't really know how to get in shape. He starts listening to your videos, gets in better shape. His wife starts treating him better. They have better sex. He's in a better mood. He's more respected at his workplace. His friends are respecting him more. His kids, play with him more. Now he has more energy to play with his kids, take them to the park. Like, there's so much chain effect all the time.
And sometimes you wouldn't even know that's happening.
Yeah, of course, because they're not going to message you and say, by the way, bro, you got me in better shape, and then this led to all of this. They're just going to say, thank you, bro, you helped me get in shape. Yeah. You have to be smart enough as a person to almost just understand that every time someone said to you, yo, I've made more money because of your advice, they've changed their entire life and everyone around them's life. There's the one guy in New Money, I don't have to say his name, just maybe he doesn't want me to even say it, but it's nothing bad, but just anyway, I'll just call him Jamie. Guy called Jamie, and I met him and his girlfriend in New York City. And I remember he was saying, like, okay, we're just going to go to my room. My girlfriend's there. We're going to go get some, microphone or camera or whatever it was. I can't remember. And I was like, I can just wait downstairs. I can wait downstairs for you if you want. No, come up. Like, my girl knows who you are because, like, she hears me listen to your voice notes or the YouTube videos and she knows about New Money. And I thought to myself for a second, like, it's crazy because now that guy that I'm talking about is making like $35,000, $40,000 a month. And New Money's massively helped him do that. He scaled from like 6K a month to 40. So like his actual girlfriend who loves him, he loves her. Their relationship has got affected positively by New Money. And you could argue by me because it's crazy. So it's like right now, they could be in a hotel room in Miami, Shanghai, wherever. The money for that hotel room was like inspired by New Money almost. Like the overall effect of just hard work and working together is just so crazy, man. I love those thoughts because it makes you just so much more motivated to work hard and just do the right thing. Because sometimes you don't see how much people are actually inspired by your messages. You know what? I swear to God, this is a true story. Earlier today, a guy called Zach from New Money, shout out Zach Abdullah. He replied to one of my tweets basically saying, bro, a lot of people just sleep on your advice. I've been watching your podcast for the last 7 hours in the car drive I've been going on. He had a 7-hour car drive, listened to my podcast the whole time. He's like, bro, sometimes people sleep on your game, forget how good it is. Like, for 7 hours, as he was doing this car drive, he said all these new ideas, learning shit. Like, but if he didn't send me that message, I wouldn't have known he did that.
Like, how many other people have spent 7 hours driving or whatever amount of time driving listen to?
Or just positively impacted by the podcast. Like my first podcast I ever did with Craig got 58,000 views at the moment. Like think about how many people have watched that again and again or got valuable gems from it and changed their life, and it's crazy.
Because there are so many new ideas and like new concepts which you do talk about, and even just one of those concepts could really click with one individual person, and that could be the reason why they make a certain move, which leads to more moves and then more moves from there.
100%. It's genuinely crazy.
It is crazy. It's just, I forgot who said this. Maybe it was you, but I'm not too sure. But it's kind of like a tree, and there's like all the branches that go off. It's like you're the tree trunk, and then if you impact this person, it impacts the tree, everyone else. Like literally, is like
I don't think I've said that before. Maybe it was someone else.
I think it was someone else. But yeah, like it just impacts everyone, and that person impacts someone else, and it goes from there. So it is huge, and I feel like people kind of underestimate how much of an impact they have. But
the same way, I guess you could take that whole point we've just been saying and say to yourself, well, if I'm around good people, if I'm around the right people, then think about the difference they have on my life. So then they're going to help me in this one area with my Google Calendar. And then if I have a Google Calendar, that's going to make me more money, and maybe I'm more organized with my time. It makes me more money. I get in better shape, and my relationships improve, and da-da-da. So then it's the same thing. It's like your friends in your life, then they have a massive compound effect on you, which then further creates that effect for all the other people you impact.
Definitely.
And then you also, because now you're the better version of yourself, you further impact the person who just helped you with something. So it's like this whole circle of just winning. But I get goosebumps even talking about this stuff because dumb people just can't relate to this whole concept because they're always thinking in zero-sum games. So, do you know what zero-sum is?
Like someone has to win for the other one to lose.
Yeah, it's just, everyone thinks like in zero-sum, it's like I have to win, so they have to lose. If I want to win, they have to lose. If they want to win, I have to lose. Like, it's not like that. It can be win-win all the time. Now, it can't be win-win for the whole planet because the whole definition of winning isn't a certain amount of money, $1 million, a 6-pack or whatever. The reason why a 6-pack is seen as good is because most don't have a 6-pack. If everyone had a 6-pack, then maybe the metric would be 8-pack, or maybe the metric would be a leaner type of 6-pack, or you get what I'm saying? So the metric is always like relatively better than 95% of people. So rich is basically being richer than 95% of people. A 6-pack just means you're more in shape than 99% of people, or whatever the percentage is.
Something like that, yeah.
You know, living in a nice place means you live in a nicer place than most people. So you and all of your friends, you and all of your group, you and all of your tribe can win. It's completely possible.
So it just reinforces the idea that you need to have the right people around you.
Yeah, and actually help, and actually try and help them. Not like people are scared to help people because they're scared that they're gonna
not get enough value back or something.
Or not even that, but just they're scared that, oh, this person's gonna do better without me, and this person's gonna start doing well, and you know what I'm trying. It's just like it's always insecurity.
Yeah.
It's always insecurity. I'm telling you. I really believe that I have very good self-esteem, and that comes from my parents, and maybe a bit I don't know if it's just natural genetic, but I really believe I have good. I really believe I have good self-esteem, and I think that's the reason why I give so much the way I talk. I don't just give short answers so that I've said the bare minimum. I try to give long-winded answers so everyone understands it fully, because I genuinely want to help people. I don't sit there and think, oh, this person's going to take my game, take my advice, and become better than me. I never think that.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe they can, maybe they will, but like, good, more power to them. If anything, I'll probably get something back in return. Sorry, boys, thought I had an urgent. I was just getting spammed on phone, but it wasn't something urgent. Always on the business, boys. So my advice for you guys would just be to give more freely to the people around you, give more value to the people around you, and you'll be amazed at how much you get back in return. And also, I really believe the reason why people don't give freely and help people is because they think to themselves, well, if I help them with this much, maybe they're only going to help me with this much. So they're scared that like they give someone 65% game, they give them 35% value back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But that's just how life is. Nothing's ever 50-50. Maybe in one situation, maybe today I give Francis 65%, he gives me 35%. Tomorrow he gives me 99, I give him 1. The next day I give him 100-0. The next 5 days I give him 100-0. But then the next 3 months he gives me 70-30. And then I give him, like, it's never 50-50.
True, and it shouldn't always be 50-50.
And he shouldn't count because it's too, like, what the fuck?
It's like, and I think you talked about this, but I don't know if it was you. But you said, like, yeah, if we're always splitting the bill, like, to the exact dollar, like, it gets a bit long. Like, just, like, cut it in the middle. Like, over a long period of time, it'll be 50-50 anyway. But
100%. It's like, I get the bill this time, you get the bill next time. You know, maybe over the course of 3 years, I would have overpaid by a few $100s maximum. Like, it's not like it's going to be random luck that every time I get the most expensive bill. Like, it's going to roughly be the fucking same.
Yeah.
So
then, like, the point of, like, helping each other is, like, it's better to get helped 30, you get helped 2% than get helped 0%. So
yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about people. It's like, even if your impact, let's say you're actually always helping the other person 70-30.
Yeah.
Like you said, the 30 is better than nothing. And if you're actually helping this person more than they're helping you, that's fine. They're one person out of 8 billion. You're making yourself better. You're a one of one. Everyone cares about themselves more than anything. So you are making your life better. Who cares necessarily if you're making one other person's life a lot better? Let's say you make their life a lot better, they make your life a bit better, but you still made your life a bit better.
So it's worth it.
So who cares about the other person?
Exactly.
Not in like a betray them, in a like, who cares if they're gaining more out of the equation? All right, boys. So it just went 4 a.m. right now on the 1st of October, as you can see. So I was on a sales call quickly for someone actually joining New Money, and I was talking to Francis for a bit. We wrote down a few notes on what we were going to talk about, you know, for the rest of this video. But it just shows you, like, even at 4 a.m., hop on a sales call, quick. He had a couple of objections, but, you know, we handled them smoothly, no problemo. I was telling him, I was like, bro, you're paying $1,800 to join the group to meet 1,000 people. And I said, yo, Francis, come here, please, bro. Show them your IG. 50K followers. These are the people you're around. I'm next to Francis at 4 a.m. doing a podcast within New Money, right? New Money member. Why aren't you in New Money? Like, it's so easy to sell when you actually have an amazing product and it actually improves your own life. I feel like people can just feel it subconsciously, even if they're a bit worried, because obviously if you don't have much money, it's difficult to spend a lot of money when you don't have too much money, like, at times. It's scary.
You have to fully believe in it, that's why. So you have to make them fully believe in it.
Wow, that's a good point. I don't think I've ever actually articulated those exact words. Yeah, like, you have to fully believe. Not really believe, fully believe. Because if it's not really good and it's not exactly what you want, you've just spent so much of your money, which might be like a month wage or half a month wage. It's too costly of a shot for it to fail.
Yeah.
That's why people are so scared and they live in frugality and they live in fear. But when you see a real one like me, you just have to pull the trigger and just make that move. Otherwise, you're going to be living your whole life in fear, man.
That's the thing, like, you should know when to pull the trigger. I feel like some people never ever pull the trigger, and then they end up just staying in the same position the whole time. So
I think it's also just recognizing. Look, boys, look. So this is the guy. Look, he just said, "Enjoy the podcast." I'm not sure if you can see that. This is the guy, right? Because I just told him add a username on Telegram so the admin can add you inside of the group. And he basically just told me, yep, I've done it. Enjoy your podcast, right? So I don't lie. Everything I say is completely facts, always. And at time, because what he did, he tried to send a payment through Revolut. And the payment got declined. And he had a bit of doubt when I sent him the Stripe link. And he thought maybe it's a sign from the universe. It got rejected. I was like, bruv, this ain't no sign from the universe. You know, I just obviously explained it to him. Because, bro, everything is just your perspective. You can look at it as a sign from the universe that you shouldn't join the group, or you can look at it as a sign from the universe that you found my channel, you really resonate with my content, you've watched every single video, you've listened to all my voice notes, and you really want to join. You know? Yeah. Like, everything just depends on your perspective. Someone watching your content, your fitness content, can look at it as like, oh, maybe I should get in shape now, or they look at it as, oh, I'm just going to stay a fat ass. Like,
you know what's crazy?
Like, it's just everything's perspective.
It's crazy as well. As you were doing the call, I don't want to distract you, but someone sent me a message saying like how I got inspired by my content and this stuff. I'll show you the message now.
I had the same
Yeah?
Carry on. Let's show them both from the... We don't cap, boys. Everything we say, we can back it up if it's suitable to show. Okay, one message. Someone said, keep being awesome. I'm going to cover the rest of them.
Yeah, so...
Well, let me... You go first, and I'll...
Like, what a coincidence.
What I'll do is I'll screenshot it quickly and I'll crop it just so you don't see the top.
Okay. You said, dude, your content has inspired me to... Wait. Yeah.
Okay, I've just screenshotted mine. I mean, I cropped it, sorry. So look, I said, legend, great to hear, bro. You just sent me a message. And then I said, he said, keep being awesome, brother. Thank you, man. I had another one as well. Let me find it. Forgot what. Oh, that was it. Instagram. I knew I couldn't find it. It was on Instagram. I was looking through my Telegram DMs. Look, I swear to God, this is true. God kill me if I'm lying. Look, it's on my own Instagram. Look, what time is that? 2:21 in the morning. Right, so a couple hours ago, but saw the DM recently. He said, I started listening to your videos on YouTube. And last week I started making money online. Then this other week, sales have gone up by 50% increase in profit. Now I'm just hungry for more work, more money. Thank you. Look at that. We don't cap.
Yeah.
So my free content is better than everyone else's paid content. That's when you know you're actually helping people change their life. And that goes on to another point. Free content versus paid content. I think this is a very practical game. Everyone's scared to give valuable free content because they think if I give so much free content, then I'm not going to actually be able to charge for my paid content because why would anyone else want my paid content? I'm not sure your opinions on this, but that is super not true. Maybe you want to touch on this first.
No, I completely agree with you. I think I knew that before I started the personal brand stuff. So I just started with a bunch of value.
How did you know this all?
Probably through you. Definitely through you. But then obviously you hear from people like Hormozy and other guys like that. They say like, the way people perceive it is like, if this person's free content is this good, imagine how good his paid content's going to be. But they won't even pay for your stuff unless you've helped them with something. Like, you know what I mean? So
because you're a stranger to them. So you can't just say to a stranger, hey, give me money.
And then I'll tell you.
But if you say to a stranger, hey, by the way, blah, 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 will solve your problem, then they implement it in their life, or they start applying, or they start listening and think, that actually makes sense. So you've actually helped them, and you've just given them something for free up front. They're like, you know what? This guy's not even a stranger to me anymore. He's actually like my friend. Why would you not give your friends some money if they're going to further help you? You know what I'm trying to say? Exactly. The equation changes, the dynamic changes from a stranger to they start liking you, start knowing you, start trusting you. They're like, I want to give this guy money. Because when you give someone money, it's almost like an investment in that person. I'm investing money in you. I want to know that my money is in good hands and you're going to look after me. So I said to that person, I get goosebumps saying this because I'm just such a real motherfucker, right? But I said to this person, Because the reason why I get goosebumps, I think it's because my younger self, I would love to talk to someone like me. I just say it how it is. I just said to this person as he had last minute doubts, I was like, bro, if you have any problems with this product, I will hop on a one-on-one call with you and I'll mentor you one-on-one. And I said, I do not want to one-on-one mentor you because I'm very, very busy and I haven't got the time to one-on-one mentor every single person. But you can message me and I'll hop on a call individually with you and one-on-one mentor you until you're happy. That's how confident I am. And I don't want to do this. And I said that. I said those exact words. I do not want to do this, but I'm offering it to you just so you know my conviction in new money and this product. And when you speak like that, subconsciously, no matter how people think, subconsciously, deep in their brain, they're like, this guy is real, you know? 100%. And that's the most important thing in business, because when customers or potential customers, when prospects are on that knife edge in business, right? They're on that 50-50 line. They're either going to buy or not buy, and they're unsure. It's not your reasoning that necessarily pushes them over the edge. Sometimes, and I gave him some reasons, but it's that energy and that conviction that just makes them go, see now how my energy has changed, even just talking about this topic, because I like this topic so much, and there was a real life example that's inspiring to talk about. It's just that when you talk about sales and energy, I get so inspired by it because it's so fucking real. It's almost more real than everything else. Like, your energy in this world is the most important topic. If your energy changes, everyone else's energy changes. The other day we were talking about a couple things, and I was like, Francis, let's do a podcast tomorrow. We did the podcast yesterday, we're doing a podcast today. Who knows, if people like it, we might do more. And that gave me another idea to have this set up with this background. And then I'm going to start doing videos with my whiteboard video for my other channel. Nice. Everything's going to compound because of that one decision.
And energy is a huge thing. People really pick up on it. Like, when I was doing sales calls, like the early days of the sales calls, I'm still in the early days, but the early days of the sales calls, I wasn't speaking with much conviction. I was kind of just telling them why they should join. It was a little bit low energy like that. But then the moment I started switching it to high energy, it was like night and day. Like, people started buying way quicker. You know, they started feeling more confident with the product because, like, as I said before, they have to fully believe in it, because to a lot of people, like, a couple $100, $1,000, more than that is a big commitment. So they have to believe in it, and they're not going to believe it unless you believe in it. So, like, when I was listening to the sales calls back again, I was realizing, like, how low energy I sounded. And I was like, I wouldn't even buy from this person. So that's when you, like, switch it up, speak high energy, match their energy with their high energy, and you just make a lot more sales like that.
Why would someone want to invest their money and time and energy into someone low energy? If you're trying to build a personal brand and you're trying to make money, you cannot afford to be low energy. You just can't afford to be low energy. People want to be around other winners. Because if you're winning in life, if you're printing cash, you're going to be in a good mood.
Yeah.
The thing about being low energy is, why would you be low energy? Excuse me. For us, it's literally 4 a.m., so it starts to become understandable. But in general, why would you be low energy if you're making money? You know, you have options when it comes to dating, you have good friends, you have a good life, you live in a nice place. Why would you be low energy? Everybody mad when their paper don't stack right. 50 Cent has said that. And that is a genius, right? So there's so much wisdom in that one quote. Everybody is mad when their money is not right, when their money is not going well. If your money was going well, you'd be happy, you'd be smiling for no reason.
Yeah, true.
That's why we start laughing sometimes in between. We have to cut things. We just start laughing for no reason. Just because when you're winning, everything is funny. If you're losing, everything is annoying.
Even the funny things are.
Someone might look at you funny, you get annoyed. Whereas when when you're winning, everything is funny. You see a dog outside, that's funny. You see an old person, that's funny. See some kid playing around in the swimming pool, just making noise, splashing around. Yeah, ha ha ha, it's funny, little kid. If I've had a bad business day and something's going wrong in business, I have a lot of problems to sort out, that kid splashing in that pool pisses me off. Like, bro, shut up, man. Like, I want to tell his parents, shut this kid up. But if I've printed cash and everything's going well, I've implemented new systems, everything's going seamlessly,
you're just in a better mood, you just want to...
Then, go on, kid, make more noise. Yeah. Even in the plane, if you hear some kid screaming, well, this was more relevant for when I used to fly economy, but when I heard a kid screaming, I was so annoyed. But if that same kid was screaming and I printed cash for that day, bro, scream more. Piss off the whole plane, little kid. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You cannot affect someone's mood when they're winning themselves. So I kind of realized this about myself. I was like, I get angry quite a lot. I get moody quite a lot because I'm ambitious. And when you're ambitious, you want things done quickly. And I was like, why am I actually angry at other people? So I started thinking, I was like, okay, well, it's just because I want certain things done. But I was like, if I just only got angry at when I didn't do something and I just controlled my own actions, then I'd never be angry at other people. So Because if you put so much energy into your own life, and so much energy into focusing on your own life and planning your own time and getting things done, you haven't got time to look at someone else's life and think, this guy, he's not done this, he's not helped me with that, and you know what I'm saying? Focus more on yourself, and you've got less time to be angry at other people that they've not pulled through with one of their promises. You know, everyone's had those things where someone's promised them they're going to do something and then they don't pull through. But you won't care if they didn't pull through if you know you're doing your own if you're pulling through your own promises. If every time you promise yourself something, you get it done. You won't care that John and Peter and Harry didn't fulfill their promise.
Yeah, it's all about your own input. Then it goes back to just focus on the input, and then whatever you can do to the max, and then whatever happens, happens. Because no matter what, if you're focusing on the input and every day you do exactly what you're supposed to do, then the output's guaranteed anyways. So
100%.
All right, so we spoke a little bit about sales. What are some of the main objections that you get about sales, or just about new money, or whatever you want to talk about?
Yeah, so it depends on the product you're selling, depends on the service you're selling. So with the influencer stuff I do, the objection people have, let's say if you're going to work with someone, is this percentage I'm agreeing with you on worth the money? Is it this percentage I'm giving you, is it going to be justified with the extra money we're making? You know, with new money, it's like, I need to think about it. I might join another community. You know, this is a lot of money for me right now, and is it actually worth my money right now? Instead, can I invest it in crypto or Forex and it makes me more money, or something along those lines? Okay. With boilers, because I used to sell boilers door to door, and I had a sales team selling boilers and underfloor insulation, the objection was, who the fuck are you? Effectively, right? Effectively, that was the objection. People would just be thinking, who's this random guy knocking on my door? Or they think it would be too good to be true because it was a fully funded scheme from the government. So it was like free. But we wouldn't say free because that sounds dodgy, because nothing's for free in this world. It's fully funded, blah, 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 and I'll explain that to them. So they thought it'd be too good to be true. They don't trust me. They've maybe had a bad experience with a door-to-door salesperson before. Maybe they've not pulled through with one of their promises. So it's kind of just building a lot of trust in a short time. The reason why door-to-door is so good is because it teaches you to build immense trust in a very, very short amount of time. That's why it's so, so good.
And how do you build trust in such a short amount of time? Like, you already have 1 or 2 minutes to give this type of trustworthy
there's
impression.
so many tips and tricks. One of them that just came to my mind is, if I feel like someone's not fully paying attention, I'll tell them you're not paying attention. And they'll be like, wow, this guy, which is me, Hassan, he's obviously paying attention to me, and he's not just reading a script, he's not just a robot.
Yeah.
You know? And people like that energy. They're like, oh, that's authentic. So for example, if I'm making my pitch, so I'm here today representing this company, blah, 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 chatting shit, right? If I feel like they're not paying much attention, I'll be like, sir, I can tell you're not paying too much attention, ha, 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 smile a bit. And they'd be kind of struck back by that a bit. They'll be like this guy, he's actually not just a robot reading a script. Because most sales guys are so in a rush to say their script word for word that as soon as they stop and start again, you know what I mean? It shows that they're not reading a script. It shows that this is natural for them and they're actually selling a good product. Subconsciously, this is how people think. So you want to match the other person's energy as well. That's how you build some trust. That's basic stuff, right? If they're speaking super slowly and quietly, you speak a bit slower and quieter. All these basic things, right? Good body language, you know. You don't want to... it goes both ways. If someone's more insecure and more shy and they're leaning forward a bit and they're just, they're crouching down a bit, then maybe you want to crouch down a bit. If someone's standing open like this, then you stand open a bit more like this. So it just depends on who you're speaking to. But yeah, that's a few different ways. But also the real main way is just saying what the product is, saying why you're there, and then saying the answers or handling their objections before they voice their objections. The most powerful way to sell anything in business is saying the other person's objections to them before they've said it. So if I'm a fitness coach, I know you're a fitness coach, that's why it's relevant for you, I'll give you some game. If I'm a fitness coach and I'm trying to sell to you and you're trying to buy from me. Actually, no, let's do this the other way, because you're the actual fitness coach. Let's say I'm you and I'm potentially going to buy something from you.
Yeah.
Okay. You should be thinking, what does this person, or what is potentially stopping this person from buying that he might not say to me? So maybe it's the price tag, it's too expensive. Maybe he thinks that he can get in shape himself. Maybe he thinks that he's not going to stick to the program. So your job is to make sure I understand that you can help me solve all these problems and doubts I have in my mind.
Definitely, because then it's like you're kind of reading their mind and they feel.
Then they're going to be like,
understood.
shit, this person literally knows how to solve my problems. So let's say one of my doubts is I don't think that I'm going to stick to the diet. I go to the gym, but I'm not going to stick to the diet. But if you say to me, also, by the way, bro, we have some accountability coaches to ensure you stick to the diet. I'll be doing weekly check-in calls with you. And we have super, super good diet plans. That's what we specialize the most in. And we have 10 different meal plan options just in case you don't like beef so much. We have more salmon in there. We have more chicken and we have more lamb and we have more this, we have more that. Do you eat bacon? Do you eat pork? No? Okay, we have a meal plan where we don't have any pig, no pork, no bacon. The halal option. All right, you eat bacon? Okay, we have some bacon in there, we have some ham. You know what I mean? You customize every different plan. And you say this to them before they even voice their concern. Let's say they're a vegetarian and you know they're a vegetarian because you've been asking them questions in the start of the call. You've understood that, yeah, they don't eat meat. All right, ask them, why are you not eating meat? They're a vegetarian. At the end of the call, when you're really going for the pitch, you want to say to them, look, bro, I know that you're a vegetarian. Don't let this hold you back in any way. You absolutely can get phenomenal results being a vegetarian. I have lots and lots of clients who are vegetarians on my program, right? So we have vegetarian-specific meal plans. I can customize it for you, just the vegetarian option, and you can get in amazing shape. This is not a hindrance. It's not going to affect you, you know? And then they'll be sat there thinking, shit, yeah, that's right. Like now I feel more confident because I was thinking and I was doubting myself and the chance of me getting results with this person's program because I'm vegetarian. But because you've now voiced it out to me and said, Joe, we have vegetarian meal plan options. Now I feel way more confident. All right, boys, we're back. I just took a 10-second break to get some sushi. I didn't even order this. My girlfriend ordered this, so fuck it.
But yeah, like, as you're saying, like they need to be confident in the product, otherwise they're simply not going to buy. So I'm good. You have to be so confident with your own thing that they're confident with it as well. And like they feed off the energy, like they feel the energy. I remember when I first started doing the sales, I wasn't as confident because I didn't have any clients to feel confident about, like that I got results for. But now that I have been getting results, and like, of course you can get results as well. Like I'll show you this person got results, this person too. So it's just about the energy as well. Like that makes such a big difference.
Boys, you guys see that fly? That moth?
Yeah.
Pissing me off, man. As soon as I got my sushi. See, as soon as you start, as soon as you have a good product, people start coming to you, man. As soon as you start giving value, the people of the world start flying towards you.
Literally.
See what I'm saying? That's a perfect example. This is the value for the moth. Well, it's not really, but.
You felt your energy. You felt
my energy. Yeah. I was getting hungry now. I was starting to lose a bit of energy. Now I'm powered back up.
And the moth feels your energy. Wants to come buy your product, and it's helping on the sales call and everything. So just goes to show.
What do moths even do? Genuinely, what the fuck is the point of them?
I think it's like what's it called? Pollination.
What do moths actually do, boys? Besides annoy me and go into light.
Yeah, I'm a genius. So. Pollinating flowers while feeding on their nectar also help in seed production. Pollination.
This is so good. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Boys, you won't cut this. We're real G's.
Stick it in there.
So many of these content creators. Like, oh no, we can't eat on camera. Oh no, we have to blur out us swearing. Oh no, we can't show this, we can't show that. Idiots. That's why they don't make money. Even if they get an audience from scripting videos, they won't monetize because no one feels their energy.
Yeah. It's like, how important is being authentic in terms of like, is it like the most important?
Yeah.
There's only so much you can act. People feel the energy when you're acting or on telling the truth or stuff like that.
But you're naturally more of a calm person. If I try to be super calm, it doesn't suit me. Because I'm not.
True.
I'm pretty moody as a person. I get angry quickly. My emotions change quickly. I like that. That's my personality. I'm intense as a person. You're the opposite. You're still very successful and you're still very focused. and you still get things done. You have urgency when it comes to important things, but you're not as intense. You're very like easy to be around, which is a compliment.
Yeah.
But I can be quite intense. I can be sometimes difficult to be around for the people I care about because I want the best of them, so I encourage them, I push them. People I don't care about, I'm not so intense. I'm just whatever. I don't talk so much, whatever. But
it's interesting because like everyone's personality is a little bit different, and I don't think you should try to change who you are. Like someone might hear this and think you're very intense, so they should be intense, but maybe it's not their personality. It's like be whatever you are, because like there's always a way that you can be better at what you're doing with your personality. Like yeah, being calm and being more intense is like completely different, but they both have their pros and both have their cons, and you know it depends on who you're working with as well. Like you don't want the exact same copy of you. Like if I had someone who's super calm around me, maybe I'd be like, what's wrong with this person? Maybe he doesn't have any like, you know, drive. Yeah, but someone super intense, like I don't think you'd be able to be around someone who's always 100% intense all the time.
It annoyed me. Yeah. Before, when I was younger, I thought I'd want 10 employees like me. Yeah. But you can't have 10 employees like me because people like me aren't employees. Yeah. That's not like an arrogant thing to say. It's just like people get. Oh, my voice. My voice just went. What's it called when you're
voice crack?
Voice crack. You got excited. People think that it's almost like an insult if you say that people are different. It's not. It's like people. Everyone understands that people are physically different. Some are really big. Some are smaller. Petite frame, big frame, wide frame, tall, short, black, white, Chinese, American. Everyone understands like physical differences, like in looks.
Yeah.
But people struggle to understand that it's the same thing with your characteristics, your personality traits. Some are smart, some are dumb. Some are fast with things, some are slow. Some like to think a lot, some take more action. Now you can work on your personality traits. They're more malleable, they're more fixable than, you know, how you look, let's say. You can get in shape.
Yeah.
But your natural temperament is kind of there forever, I believe. Like I never believe I'm going to be a super calm person like you. I really just don't think I will. I don't think you'll ever be like a really intense person. Because
I don't think I will.
It's just your body.
It's unnatural to me.
You could definitely start speaking more.
Yeah.
Like, and you have. You've become better at that. But you're not going to become, your temperament will stay the same.
I agree. And do you feel like some people try to change who they are? And then why do you think they change who they are? Maybe they're unhappy with. What's the reason for like trying to change who they are? Because I feel like it's very easy to look at what other people are doing.
Yeah, because they see people, let's say like myself or like yourself, and they think, I want to be like Francis, I want to be super calm. Or they think, I want to be like Hassan, with 6 supercars and an RM and 40 watches, and then they'll think, I got to be intense, I got to be crazy. But this is who I was as a kid. I was always that kid in school who's just intense. I was always quick with things. I was always like rushing to get home, to finish my homework, to have a shower, to drink my cup of milk, to wear my pajamas, so then I could watch TV. I was always very fast and very... I never would sit down on the sofa as a kid until I finished all my work. I'd hate that. I'd finish all my work, finish everything, and then I'd allow myself to have fun. Now, sure, you can be calm and still be the same in that sense. You're disciplined and sure. But I'm just saying, like, I was always like a person who wanted to get things done as a kid. But your temperament is an excuse to be lazy. Like, if you're intense or if you're a naturally more calm person, that's fine. Both of you can still get lots done. You can't be like, oh, naturally I'm a calm person, so I get nothing done. That's not what calm means. That just means you're lazy and you're an idiot. So know the difference. Don't take the piss.
Yeah, like I'm calm, but I'll still finish all my daily tasks before going to sleep. Still make sure to, get on sales calls all day so I can make some money. Still go to the gym at night and film videos. Still do everything, but it's not an excuse to be lazy. I feel like a lot of people make excuses to be lazy. It's just easier. It's easier to make excuses, easier to be lazy and just say that's just the way I am. But yeah, there's to be a point where they kind of draw the line.
All right, boys, that's the end of the podcast. I hope you all enjoyed that. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click that subscribe boys button. I'm going to post every single day on this channel. Make sure you follow Francis on Instagram below. By the time you watch this video, you might be on 60K followers, taking over the world one step at a time. So boys, hope you like that. Make sure you subscribe. I'm about to finish my sushi and head off to bed. See you guys in a bit.